Excellent. Good evening, everyone. My name is rooslugs, Zelda 1 speedrunner, also speedrunner of other fun games. It was a pleasure watching the Phantom Hourglass. I've never seen that before, so well done on that run. And from what I know, the previous runner also plays a little Zelda 1, so kudos to you. But like I said, and like I was introed, the run was slotted to be 80%, but you guys decided for torture percent. This is called max keys. Earlier, you saw Zelda 2 raced with all keys. In this run, our goal is to get the most keys possible without buying any or getting the infinite key. So there's a little bit of routing shenanigans that have to happen. All right, let's kick this thing off. And I'm ready whenever they are. Let me reset my file name. Sorry. Here we go. All right. So if you've played Zelda 1 before, you're gonna wonder why I'm doing a lot of the things I'm doing. In the speed run, we start with 3 first, so that's what we're going to do here. But we're going to ignore some stuff because our goal, like I said, is to get the most keys possible, which requires some routing shenanigans, some skipping of stuff, and more. So our first goal in level 3 is to get the raft. And we're not even going to beat level 3 because we got to come back here later to get this key, as well as the key that we're not going to see in this room. There's a key hidden here. We're just straight ignoring those for now. Yeah, run with up A and shenanigans. We're killing these guys because we need some money to play the money-making game. There's our money. And then we're also going to steal a bomb from this room. So you might be curious how I got to level 3 so quickly. There's a mechanic called screen scrolling, where you can basically wrap the screen by being a certain distance away and doing some frame-perfect movement. Right now we're just farming up some resources, some bombs. We need to get to 10 rupees so we can do some money-making game, which is additional money farming shenanigans once we get the raft. So 2 more rooms to go. These are dark nuts, these red guys. And they are nasty, unless you have bombs. Pretty easy to take care of them with bombs. Down this nice little staircase, in all its 8-bit glory, is the raft, or hot dogs, or whatever you like to call it. We're going to save, do a series of resets here to try to get perfect RNG to steal some money out of this cave over here. All right, we won twice. We're going to go back for one more. All right, this should win as well. So there's a bus, kind of like Super Mario 1. But in this case, our bus is 4 frames wide instead of 21 or whatever. So that has to be within a 4-frame window. And we got it. The reason this run exists is because there is a key glitch that allows you to not underflow keys, but use keys when you have 0 in special scenarios. And we're going to demo that for the first time in this level, level 4. That's why I had to get the raft to get to 4. And again, we're going to skip some keys that otherwise a smart person would normally get. We're going to pick them up later. But we are going to beat this level. Another mechanic that's similar to screen scrolling is block clipping. In that corner, there was a block that I just kind of moseyed on through. No problem. We're going to skip this key because In order to do the key glitch, you have to have 0 keys in your inventory, and here's where we have our last expense of a key, so we're down to 0. Now we're going to glitch after we get our ladder. Bombs are by far the best weapon in the game. They deal 4 damage, and you could reproduce them by forcing, which is killing 10 enemies in a row and then clearing the 10th enemy with a bomb. By far the best damage output in the game, and you can get it a lot earlier than the magic sword, so that's why it's so important. Alright, here's the step ladder. Step ladder's important for going over waterways. Nice crotch sword there. Alright, here's our first instance of the Kanana key. So the way it works is if a room has a bomb hole or a shutter door, as well as a key door, and you have 0 keys, you can walk through it as the shutter door opens, because all doors open during that time. So I killed that enemy, dispatched the shutter door, and then I went through. It's called the Kanana key, discovered by a good friend Kananaphone. So we're going to march along here in level 4, snag this key, and we're actually going to beat the dungeon right now, fight a different version of Gleeok. We don't get to bounce icebergs and balls at this one, but we just got to stab him down. Usually you'd have 4 hearts here because you'd beat level 3 first. In this case, beating level 3 is actually faster to do later. So, skipping that. Got Gleeok here. 16 hits with this sword. The game expects you to probably have the white sword at this point in time. And we survive. Currently, I'm tied for the world record with my buddy Mudos, and I have no interest in breaking that tie. I love that guy. So, shoutouts to him. He's one of the pioneers of just really making the Legend of Zelda speedruns a science, doing a lot of routing work and that sort of thing. Alright, we're going to level 1 now. And we're going to buy our friend the bait. Or I believe it's called the food in the manual and intro. We'll spin this later, but it's a good time to buy it now since we have the money. Alright, there's also a heart over here. And it's not a safety heart in this case. It actually, we're going to get Magical Sword differently than we would normally get it in the any percent speedrun, or really any other speedrun. Like I said, this category is honestly silly. You guys picked the memeiest category, and I'd have it no other way. Alright, this is level 1. In order to save a key here, there's a trick called the pirouette. So if you exit the bottom door, for some reason, it opens the top door. Beautiful. From the graveyard, exactly. But get it a little bit differently than normal. Got a bomb that's full open. There's a key in here we're going to pick up now. We'll come back later to do our final collection. And we want all the money we can because arrows cost $1. Or a rupee, I should say. Stealing keys from skeletons. We're hanging out with our Grief pals. For some more money. I am in a little bit of bomb trouble. And if you're not aware, like I said earlier, 10th enemy does have the bomb, as we'll see later in the speedrun. But we can force our way back to good bomb health. And we'll also pass a shop that we can buy bombs from too, so should be no problem. Our next task is defeating the hardest boss in the game. Just kidding, it's Aquamenace. Aquamenace is a pushover. And if you've ever played Zelda 1, I'm sure you have fond memories of finding this pushover in the first dungeon and thanking your lucky stripes that it was not as fierce as it looked. But there's some fun fireballs we gotta dodge. We'll make quick work of it, I hope. Lay a bomb, 2 sword slashes, and we're out. Alright, we've done 3 levels, but we've only beaten 2. We have to go back and beat level 3 later. But I said I wouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to save here in case I screw this up. This is the hardest part of the run for me. So level 5, it's not the combat that scares me. We have to do another one of those key glitches, but it's very, very tight in this dungeon. You have a room full of Pole's voice, which are the jumping bunnies. In the Japanese version, you could yell at the controller and they go poof. But in this version, you could kill them with a sword or preferably with a single arrow shot. And that's what we're going to opt for here. Again, we have no bombs right now, which is generally a bad thing. But we're going to purchase some. And if we're good enough, we'll force some. So we're going to buy arrows here. It's kind of a safety tactic. The trick I'm going to do in level 5 can be done without the arrows. However, like, it just makes it a lot easier. Yeah, there's a microphone in the controller in the FDS. And if you just yell at the controller, the Pole's voice die. I'd demo it, but my kids are asleep. We can get another heart here. Oops. You need to bomb this open, not shoot with an arrow. Come on, kids. Yeah, for the Famicom, exactly. Alright, all these hearts are just so we can get a magical sword later, which is a quadruple damage upgrade to the wood sword. I'll take hearts. In level 5, usually you go up and up this mountain to the left. But because we know how to screen scroll, and screen scrolls work going right to left, we can actually scroll this screen. And that saves a good bit of time. Alright, level 5. This level scares me in this run, specifically, because the trick is a pain in the butt. If I fail it, I'm not going to reset, but I will donate $1 for every rupee I have to spend to get the key back. So, I guess for charity's sake, you want me to fail? Question mark? Alright, our bomb situation right now is in the bad region. It's definitely bad. But I think we could do this. Alright, this is the hardest room in the game. It's called the recorder room. Time to throw. Exactly. This is Blue Dark Nuts. They have 8 health. They are nasty. And that's why bombs are our best friend here. We forced a bomb, which is perfect. And then we begin to just wipe them out with bombs, because bombs are, like I said, the highest damage weapon that we have at our disposal right now. They each got hit once. Alright, they're messing with us. Bang. I like that. Hard work. Alright, we got the breadstick, as my friend Arcus likes to say. Alright. So in this room, we cannot get this key now. If we do, the run is instantly ripped. So as pretty as that key looks. Oh, I want the bomb, though. We're gonna steal the bomb. Beautiful. Yeah, if I get the glitch, you guys gotta donate $100, because that's what it would cost me if I don't get it. How's that sound? We're going to go up to the top of this level, ignoring keys. We're going to try not to get hit, because our health is 2-shot right now. I don't really want to kill these guys, but they're kind of in my way. There's a free key on this floor, too. It'd be nice to get it, but we can't. I'm obligated to skip it. because right now we have 0 keys. You know what that means based on what I said earlier. We can do the key glitch called the Canana key. And this is the hardest one to do, because the positioning is very tight. Alright, you guys owe me $100, or oh, the charity $100. All for a good cause. Alright. At level 5, never go to level 7, where it gets spicy. Level 7 we do an instant double dip of, because we have to beat the dungeon doing another and the final key glitch, and we go back in to collect the keys that we missed. And then the rest of the game is just a big boss rush / key festival, where we just collect all the keys and rush all the dungeons again. So it's kind of fun. It just becomes a massive boss rush at the end, which I like. And we don't have very much money, which means we can't use too many arrows in here, which is a bit sad, because arrows are very powerful. They do twice the damage of the wood sword. Alright, level 7. Usually you need 3 keys to get into this dungeon, because it requires so many. But we're gonna do it with 0. Nasty Degrees. This is called the River Room. It's probably one of the harder, more stressful rooms in the game, in the speedrun. Just because to do it fast is difficult. Do it slow isn't too bad, but who likes slow? Alright, this is our last Canana key. I need to kill one of these guys as I enter the door. We're going to choose this red dude as our guy. See if he cooperates at all. They rarely do. Alright, we're through. Alright, we've done the 3 Canana keys that we do in the run. We have 0 keys. Now it's time to collect. Our first key requires us to go backwards, though. So that's what we're going to do. You're going to see a lot of rooms you probably didn't know existed in this game before, if you're a fan of Zelda. And that's why I love this run. Take that ferry that we forced. Now we're gonna rock and roll. We need the arrows that we have for the next 3 rooms, because they're very dangerous. I have pretty good health right now, so it's not too bad, but arrows are the fastest weapon in the game, and you could also use it from range quickly, so it's kind of a nice feature. I run a lot of swordless categories, which feature arrows heavily, so that's kind of why I gravitated to trying this category. We got beam sword, let's go. There's a key in this room, so we gotta collect it. We want the money, because that's our firepower, basically. And we're short on bombs. We don't have to end the level with any bombs, though, thankfully. But we are, I believe, 1 short, so I might have to do some shenanigans to refill. In the game, if you want bombs, you want to kill blue enemies in the overworld and red enemies in dungeons. That's kind of the general theme. But some rooms, like this room, have a bomb drop in them, but I'm not going to get it. We're going to demonstrate something that's interesting right here. So this mini boss splits into 3 parts, as you'll see. If you kill a part, you can actually leave the room, and the whole thing despawns. I wouldn't normally do that in a run, but I figured it'd be fun to show people who might play this casually an option for killing, a mini boss. That's called smoking a Dodongo. It's a forcible bomb by killing it on a edge intersection of blocks that you see. Your favorite wall masters. If you grab one of these, they take you to the beginning of the dungeon, which would be absolutely disastrous. So that's why we're going to avoid them. The bow's just a nice weapon because it's a stronger weapon. It's fast. You can fight the boomerang throwers from range, which is great. And Aquaminus again, refight. So first go through level 7. We're going to re-enter because there's 2 keys that we got to pick up, and then we're going to do some more world wraps and screen scrolls. So we'll instantly reopen the dungeon with the recorder. And because we have bombs, which is nice, I'd usually fight this guy to refill them, but don't need to. Nice little time save. One other tactic that you can use in the run whenever there's a lot of menuing and the up and A is engaged, which is basically using the second controller to death warp, is you could actually use that chance to menu. So you get free menus whenever you death warp, which is something I'll use right here and in the future a couple times. So we ran into that guy to get a key, because that's the purpose of the run. And then we switched to our bombs in the up and A animation. Now we're going to go over here. We're going to get another key and we're going to leave the dungeon. You'll notice that some keys are just lying on the ground, and other ones you have to farm out of enemies. So it's kind of a fun little part of Zelda 1 lore. Just some stuff's hidden, some stuff's in the open, so you gotta explore. That's why I love Zelda 1. Alright, we're gonna screen scroll this barrier. And this is the left edge of the screen, but it just so happens that the left edge does in fact connect to the right edge. And you can actually scroll back this way to get to this edge, which is nice because you can skip a bunch of walking around the forest. And if you're knowledgeable of Legend of Zelda 1, the original, the best game, of course, you'll notice that I have 11 hearts, which means the magical sword is very closely within our reach. So after this dungeon, that's what we're going to go fetch. So we have 3 keys entering. We're going to get to 7 keys before we exit this dungeon. Another thing you'll notice is that our hearts are pretty low right now. But every time we do this up and A death warp, it refills you back to 3 hearts. So you can tank a little bit of damage and get some health refill if you're comfortable rolling with 3 hearts. The ropes basically look to see if you're on the same row or column as them, and then they'll attack you. Otherwise, they'll leave you alone. That's why they played with us there. So the best room clears involve some coaxing of them, as well as some dodging. And then he has the bomb. Beautiful thing. And we need bombs in this boss fight. If you remember from some of the other games you saw, that Dodongos like smoke. And this is the game that taught us that. Bombs are still our best damage option. So that's where we're going to use them liberally. And here's Dodongo. 2 bombs and a little sword slash is all it takes to dispatch that guy. This is an opportunity to showcase a trick that I discovered about 3 years ago. It's called the recorder. And it basically allows you to wrong warp with the whistle. So it's a pretty neat trick. I'm biased, of course, but it is pretty neat. So normally you'd have to get the magical sword from the grave, and we're going to do that. But to get there, it'd be a long, long walk. In this case, we're going to warp directly to it. This guy's a little close. We're going to have to do it again. That's called the oil change whenever you're trying to do any recorder glitches and they spawn right next to you. You can't really defend against it. But basically, the raft tile and the recorder mechanism, they interact, and it performs both functions. Link goes up, and he goes left from the normal drop-off, and so that's why you get that result of kind of a weird wrong warp. I warped, in that case, to level 7, but this screen happens to be 1 northwest of 7, so it's a pretty neat trick. And it's useful in the speedrun. It's in the world record route, and it's just fun. People use it in randomizer all the time, which always makes me happy. All right, level 6. This is the level with the wand. We're not going to collect it, unfortunately. Take a bomb, though. These are probably the scariest enemy in the game because they deal 4 hearts of damage if the beam touches you. So you got to watch out for them. And there are a ton of them in this level. We're going to try to fish for a heart here real quick because it makes some of the clearing ahead with the beam sword go a little bit more smoothly. There we go. See if we can take advantage of it. The beam sword is equivalent damage to just a melee strike, so it's a nice damage option if you have it. You just throw it. And as long as you can keep it, you can really leverage it if you're a skilled player. Oh, I thought he was dead. That's why I kind of went for it. Yeah, they can go to hell. That's fair to say. Alright, got through. This is not normally the way you'd go, but in order to get the maximum keys, you've got to go fight the Gliok of Shame. It's not shameful here, it's required. I'll take the heart too. It's a marathon. I did not buy a potion against my better judgment, so we're rolling with the hearts that we have. It sounds like if we had a poll right now to see who likes Wizrobes, there might be 0 hands that go up. But I'm all for that. So you'll notice that in the room we just passed, there was a key door on the bottom. So in order to get the key we just got, we'd have to go through it, unless we went around this way. Specifically the blue ones. Beautiful. Alright, we're just collecting keys. We're up to 10 now. We're a third of the way there, almost. Or a little more than a third of the way. These are called buyers. They're kind of awkward hopper guys. Come on, dude. You're still alive? I'm miscounting the health of these blue guys. You guys are right, they're terrible. They're the worst. Wizrobes, yay or nay? I think I see what this poll result's going to be in advance. Alright, so level 6 is all but cleared here. Just gotta steal a key from this room and then promptly spend it to get to the boss. I honestly never thought in a million years that this category would be in a marathon ever, unless it was like the meme-a-thon at GDQ in the middle of the night. But I'm so glad you guys picked it, because I think it's a hoot. Now we just go on our key collection tour. Our keys are going to skyrocket from 10 to over 20 very quickly. Link Between Worlds visitors are okay. What are you trying to say? So there's 2 keys we missed in here. They're in the left and right foot of the eagle. Level 1's the eagle, by the way. And these are keys you probably get just starting the game, because you kind of have to if you don't know how to pirouette. And once we get these, we're going to get out of here. If you up A and then you save, it actually takes you back to the start screen. Which is kind of nice, because it equips your recorder already. And then you can just go for it. So we're going to use that mechanic several times here, just for speed's sake. Instead of 3 keys from level 1, we got to defeat 8 here to get a key. And the reason I do the Death Warp here is just because it's faster than a room transition. So you save maybe a second doing it each time. We're going to pick up these keys that you guys probably were like, why is he walking past those? Well, now we can actually pick them up without failing Kanana keys. Again, there's a block right there that I can't walk through. You see it's hard block. All right, already 15 keys. Went to level 4, now we're going to 5. And then we're actually going to beat level 3 finally after level 5. So all this time, the first level we started in, we're going to go beat after this. We're going to switch to bombs because we have to fight some Dodongos again. And we're actually going to get the key out of this room as well. Don't need those bombs anymore because the guys in the room right here have bombs for us already. Oops. Unfortunately, the last guy didn't get smoked, so I had to wait for the animation of killing him. I'd love a heart here, because everything deals 2 damage in this dungeon. So we're just going to go pick up all the keys that we walked directly past in this dungeon. Pretty awesome. If you play the game a few times, you can find yourself navigating these dark rooms with ease as well. They're not too bad. And now that we have the magical sword, like, these guys go down in a heartbeat. No problem. Pick up this key. There's a moat in here you gotta walk around or across, but it was a little too dangerous to walk across in that case. Switch to our arrows here because we need to kill some Pole's voice, because I don't have the Famicom hooked up right now, or else I'd just yell at them. It's actually my second gold split of the run, surprisingly. I've been playing Super Nintendo games a lot lately, Link to the Past and Super Metroid, so surprised this to be de-rusted so well. Alright, there's 2 keys in here we gotta pick up. This one that's completely free, and then this one. I should probably get that heart, but too far away. We always say that in runs, even though it's 100% never too far away. It's just an excuse for being lazy. So never believe them if they say that. Pro tip. Now we get to fight Manhandla with with hopefully some success. Beautiful. Alright, we've officially beaten 7 dungeons. Now we're going to go beat level 8, which is possibly, in many people's opinion, quite difficult, and I would agree. Can't get there going that way, though. We call this an orchestra. Making a mistake. But it's all good. So we warp back to level 2, and level 8's kind of the how do you get there sort of level. The game's kind of cryptic if you don't recall. Like, you have to burn bushes, bomb holes, all kinds of stuff like that. And it doesn't always tell you where to go. But you'll notice there's a tree here. It looks kind of mysterious, and for good reason. In it lies level 8. There are a lot of keys we gotta pull out of this dungeon, and they're not in locations that I want to go. But for the sake of the marathon, we will go. And you'll probably see rooms, like I said, that you've never seen before, or haven't seen since a childhood playthrough or something. Nice force. These are what we call the lagoons. Because they're shooters as well as dark nuts, the room lags quite a bit until you defeat some of them. So that's what we call it, the lagoon. Here's another block we're going to clip through. We're going to get that key on the way back. There's a bunch of blocks in the middle of the room. We just kind of walk around. And we'll take a heart, why not? And then we'll lose right here. In the randomizer, sometimes the red bubble curse inverts your controls, do more than just steal your sword. So it's kind of exciting to play randomizer. If you have never checked it out, Z1 has a very strong, active, and creative randomizer community. So if you prefer that to casual speedrun or play, then highly recommend checking that out. All right, another lagoon. You got shooters. Okay. These guys have, again, 8 health, so the magical sword does 4, so do bombs. And they have like a weird targeting mechanic on how they decide if they want to attack Link or run away. So obviously in the speedrun you want some aggression. In a casual play you want them to be pacifist. But it's kind of a mix of both. Let's see if we did it correctly here. We're going to grab this spiral key, which puts us up to 27. That number's creeping up there. We might get the maximum. There was, once upon a time, a world record attempt where I walked in this room and walked around this key and left the room and never picked it up. And I didn't realize it till after I got the run. It's like, oh, I was key short the whole time and no one told me in my chat. They must love me a lot. Beam attack is very powerful, so losing it is generally a bad thing. But only if you could leverage it. Like for the casual run, it's not that important, but for speed run, you definitely want to keep it as often as possible. Yeah, arrows are so powerful too, but you just never see them in the speedrun, except to kill Goma and Ganon. 28 key, or are we key short here? Nope, we're not. There are 4 keys and 9, and we have to spend 3 of them, so we're right on pace. Level 9 has just intoxicating music. Like, it's hard for me to imagine playing this game without hearing the level 9 theme song. It's just the first time I heard it when I was, 4 or 5. Oh my gosh. It just the air changes. And so that's where we're about to go, up to Death Mountain. Our last screen scroll of the game. And we're in there. Yeah, even though I've played this game, beaten it thousands of times, like, the nostalgia just doesn't go away. Hearing this music always, like, you know it's on. We're gonna block clip this. And in the speedrun, we usually have one less heart than this, but it's still kind of scary. Lots of things can kill you. And in this case, we're gonna fight about 10 more enemies than we'd normally fight in the speedrun. To get a key, of course. Okay. This enemy in the next room is called a Patra, and they are absolutely scary. They can wreck you. Destroyed many runs for people. We're just going to try to walk past them as best as possible. More Patra. The fastest time is a 41:35 in this category. The fastest time in any category is a 27:30 something. Golly, getting harassed. Ooh, clock stops time. It makes rooms like that free. As much as I want that bomb pack, I would probably die getting it. Plus, there's a free one on the floor here. And free in quotes, because they can kill you. The red ring, if we wanted it, was above that Patra a couple rooms. Spoiler, but we're going to try to finish without it. Right, which way should we go, chat? Go to the next room. John Travolta. Where do we go? Okay. Immediately fire. Love to see it. We'll go up. Yeah, feed the old man some food. I bet the bait is exactly what he wants. Up, left. Who knows? I don't know. Count. I'm on. We're on 10 count. There we go. Alright, last key of the game we gotta collect is in this room, and I always forget it. There we go. We even got the clip. Hell yeah. Heck yeah. Alright, we're on our way to get the silver arrows. You can't beat the game without them. In Swordless, we just stop time when you get to Ganon's room. But, oh gosh. This is not what we want to happen right now. There are our Wizrobe haters are justified here. Alright, we have all our keys, we have the silver arrows, all the ingredients to win. Now it's on us. Can we do it? Marching down through the backside of Death Mountain level 9. Ooh, that's not good. These guys are just a nuisance. I'd love a heart. If I don't get it though, make it work. Heart, eh? Game's gonna do me like that, eh? Yeah, you can get 255 keys, or rupees, or bombs. If the game allowed you to get bombs, that is. Oh, I want that heart. All right. Oh, we died. What a shame. Probably wants to finish the run. It's about a 2-minute walk to get back. So what happened, there's like 3 different things that can happen in the Ganon fight initially. You can get an early fireball, you get a mid fireball, and in this case we got a late fireball. And that doesn't necessarily change anything practically, other than it requires you to move really specifically to get to where you need to get, and I just didn't get there. So we'll take this couple rooms a little safer, get back there, knock it out. Some of the patches contract like that. And some of them like orbit, some of them go diagonal. It just kind of depends. Oh, that was a mess. Life support again. Got a heart. That's good. Got 2 hearts. Might have to take out Patra, unfortunately. See, this Patra spins. Yeah, I gotta get to the door. No problem. When you go through the dungeon a second time, if you die or something, or if you go the wrong way, anytime you leave the dungeon, you can get different behaviors from like the spawning and enemy movements. So that's why you definitely don't want to die. Gotta get grayscale again though. That's always swag. Getting hit in that room did me in, and I could have even increased my health in there. We're gonna get a different Ganon spawn, which is exciting. So if I don't make it here, then we'll have to just call it probably. But do our best. Gotcha. All right. We finished the game, got 29 keys, and we can't spin another one. You can also, if you want to in your runs, do this. You can get a fun-looking Zelda. But yeah, that's what it looks like to get all the keys that give you the maximum number. We skipped 2 keys, but they're keys that don't add to your total. But I do appreciate you guys for having me on the marathon. Hope this was a trip back to the 80s for you. Nice nostalgia trip. If you're younger than I am, then welcome to what video games used to be like. Unfortunately, we don't have any rub strats in ours like Phantom Hourglass or any other cool strats like you'll see in some of the future runs. But we do have 8-bit classic graphics, 2 buttons to choose from, and a lot of creativity if you're up for it. But yeah, thanks for having me, rooslugs, and enjoy the marathon. Cheers.
rooslugs, thank you so much. This was actually fun. As you said, a trip down memory lane, and I really enjoyed watching. The nostalgia just spoke out of you. I loved it. And that's it for now for Legend of Zelda. And we're gonna go back to the break screen and then come back with Zelda: The Wand of Gamelon for Philips CDI in a bit. Stay tuned.